So today I'm going to teach you guys how to catch a stalker. If you know that you are a chosen one and you're this person with a special assignment from the universe, this is something you cannot run away from. There is going to be a stalker or two. There can even be more than two. Sometimes they can be stalking you physically, whereby sometimes you're going to start running into particular type of individuals, or sometimes they can be invisible. So they can be actually stalking you behind the scenes, whether it's online, social media platforms, and things like that. And usually I've told you guys, that moment after awakening, the stalking will be visible. It will be more clear to you that you're being stalked. Pre-awakening, it has been happening, but you weren't aware of it. So most of the times, it's been happening behind the background. You was not aware of it, but it has been happening. But when you awaken, you're going to come to that awareness that you're actually being stalked. So stalking is done by monitoring spirits. So they use particular individuals to follow you everywhere. They're like dogs hunting for meat, so they just sniff around where the meat is. So they will stalk you everywhere you go because they want to keep a tag on you. And they want to know what you're doing, who you're dating, what are you talking about, what are you posting online, how do you spend your day, the things like that. Most of the times, I've told you guys not to be worried about these kind of individuals. These things are spiritual, Best understand, ladies and gentlemen, these things of stalking is spiritual. And it is something you cannot control, but it's something you can do. There is something you can do to protect yourself. Especially when you know who it is and what it is they are doing, stalking you. Now, if it's a physical stalker, for example, you're a fully awakened individual, you know what I mean? You have got this enlightenment and awareness, general awareness. You're self-aware. So you're walking around and you keep on running into a particular type of person. I've usually mentioned this thing in my videos. There's a woman in those early days who used to stalk me. These days, I don't see that person around. But in those early days, that woman used to stalk me everywhere. So what you do, if you're running into somebody, maybe, for example, you run into a shop, you see some guy standing in the parking watching you. Or you go somewhere out in the city, that particular person, you run into that person actually, and you notice actually they're watching you. It's like they're following you everywhere that you go. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. We live in a matrix. And everything you're seeing around you is a simulation. It's a simulation. So the things what you're seeing happening with these individuals is all spiritual, ladies and gentlemen. And you have got to have a certain level of awareness and enlightenment to understand this. If a person is physically stalking you, so what you will do, and you have that feeling that there's somebody stalking you, sometimes you see them physically around your vicinity, maybe outside of your home, in the park, in the supermarket, in the shops, even sometime at your workplace. What you're going to do, you're going to change the routine. Let me say, for example, you have been used to getting out of your house at 8. And you always run into that particular individual. Somewhere, somehow, you run into them. So what you're going to do now, you're going to change the routine and change the cycle. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to start getting up and getting out at 4. Or let's say at 10, or let's say at 11, whatever. This, depending on which time actually suits you, you're going to decide to get out of the house and move around at a different time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been used to seeing a person in a certain area at a certain time, because it's like they're getting used to your pattern of movement and going around. Now all of a sudden you change the time. You say, okay, I'm going to be moving out of the house at 10 or at 11, let's say, for example. And you still run into that person by some chance. You have changed the time. You have switched the time of your walking around, of leaving home, or even shopping, whatever it is you do on a daily basis, in a regular routine. And you still find that person in a certain vicinity, even sometime in a different spot. Even sometimes you can change the spot. You can say, okay, this is where I'm going to the gym. And you always see that person in that gym. And then you decide to change the gym and you go to a different one. Or a restaurant, or whatever, pub, I don't know, depending on what it is you do for your day. You see that particular person in that place. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not by coincidence. That person, that is your stalker right there. That is how you catch your stalker. That is how you know exactly who is stalking you. And especially this goes out to the chosen ones. So, let's talk about the online ones. Sometimes these stalkers, I've told you, when they cannot reach you physically, they can do it spiritually. It can be, for example, there is a person living overseas in a different country or in a different town, depends. And that person actually is following you online. So sometimes maybe they're using these fake accounts to stalk your Instagram, to stalk your WhatsApp status and things like that. So actually they're stalking you online behind closed doors, because I've told you guys, stalkers, they will never come straight to your face and introduce themselves. So whatever they do, they always do it behind the scenes. They don't want to be seen. If that thing is happening online, what you're going to do, because like I've said again, these individuals, sometimes they're using fake accounts, so they're using these fake accounts to do the stalking. So what you're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, chosen ones, you're going to start deleting certain people out of your phone. Let's say, for example, you have got a bogus list of useless friends, useless people who are following you on social media. Now you start to go through your lists and delete all of them. Don't block them, just delete them. It's the trick. Do not block it. Do not block them, delete. Delete them from your accounts. There's been sometimes dormant people who have been watching you behind the scenes for years, and they've never talked to you, and they've never spoken to you. So what you do now, you delete those individuals off of your social media. If it's your WhatsApp, remove them from your telephone, from your list of contacts. Ladies and gentlemen, the very first person to contact you, because if you remove those individuals from your phones, let me say from your lists or whatever, from your contacts, the very first person who will contact you, oh, what happened all of a sudden? I've not been seeing you posting nowadays, or what is happening to you? Are you okay? Everything is fine? That is your stalker right there. One of the good thing I've realized with this awakening, it puts you on a certain frequency whereby nothing can get past you. You know what I mean? You can catch up on things very, very quickly, ladies and gentlemen. An awakened individual, you do not play with chosen ones like that, ladies and gentlemen. You delete all of them, and instantly, in the next 1 or 2 days, somebody is going to contact you on that same platform that you've deleted people. They may ask you a simple question. Oh, how is it going? Is everything okay? Are you all right? Sometimes they could even be tapping into your home networks and the things like that. Cut off your network for 24 hours. The very first person to contact you is the person who has actually been the parasite. That's the parasite. That's the parasite right there. Oh, where have you been? I've not been seeing you online. Is everything okay? Oh, is there anything I can do? They have not been talking to you for 3-4 years. And all of a sudden they want to know what you're doing and if everything is okay with you. So that's what those guys do, all right? Those are the two ways, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to catch and if you want to know your stalker. And I would like to know if you have used any of those methods. And I would like to know if they have worked for you, chosen ones. And I'll catch you guys in my next one, ladies and gentlemen. Book a session, donate if you want, support the channel if you want to. And I'll see you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Love and blessings, peace. I'm grounding actually, you can see my shoes. So I'm already in the fields grounding. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.